Hey students, it's Miss Bowie here. I just wanted to share with you some tips for photographing your artwork. So I'm really excited that you've decided to join our Winter Showcase for Art. And here are a few ways to make your artwork look excellent and really presentable for the show. So you have some great art. One thing to remember is that you value your work and you want to present your work to create value for others. And you also want to store your work safely so that it doesn't get damaged. And I know that this is not as important generally for a digital art show, but you may want to present it at another time, or it may be an award winner. So please keep your work in a safe place. This also for digital art students and photography students means save your work in a file that you can locate very easily. And also for 2D students and 3D students, your final photographs in a file, like a digital portfolio for you so that you can access that work easily. Photographing your work for presentation. The most important things are to consider lighting, framing, and editing. Before you start, you want to make sure your camera settings on your phone are set to the optimum resolution. So you want a good resolution, maybe not too large or too small. So it helps to know what your camera can do. And you don't necessarily need to take it in complete high resolution, but a good size is between 1,000 and 2,000 pixels for submitting your work. Lighting, it's very important to use natural light. Sometimes we don't have that option. You may have to set up lighting. That can be a little bit more tricky. But if you use natural light, you don't need to use a flash, so you'll prevent having those hot spots on your photo where it's washed out in areas or reflected. And if you have to set up lighting, you might want to use diffuse light to prevent reflection. If you have any questions about lighting setup, that may be something you want to come to me, say, I have no way to use natural light. I mean, you can go outside or use a window. Those are the best ways, but I can discuss with you ways to individually if you're having some trouble. LED, fluorescent, and incandescent lighting can alter the colors of your artwork and compromise the quality. Because if you know that the way the spectrum works, daylight, you're getting all of these colors, and when you're using fluorescent, incandescent, or LED lights, you're only getting some of the colors. That's why it will look different when you photograph something in daylight as opposed to photographing it using a natural light. Unless you're using like a full spectrum art light bulb, but that's a whole nother thing. Let's not go there. Okay, so how to set up your 2D work. It is best to lay it on a flat surface, a solid flat surface. This carpet example is not the best example. If you lay it on carpet, it can be bumpy, it can be, may alter the way that it looks. If you lay it on a flat surface, it's going to be much cleaner and be able to lay even. If you don't have a flat surface, you can lay like a piece of poster board underneath it or something that will be more solid. Make sure that your work is not set at an angle, that you're setting up your camera or your phone right in the center of your artwork. If you have to be above it, or if you're setting it up on the wall right in front of it, where the camera is pointed directly at the center of your work. So you can hang it securely on a wall or lay it flat on the floor. Putting that piece of black or white poster board behind your work helps you frame it for editing, so you know where the edges are. And here's a good example of being able to take it with your phone, having it a flat. You see this one is slightly angled, but you would have to angle your phone the same angle that the piece is angled to make sure that it looks flat all around, like the image right here. Setting up 3D work. Find an area without visual distractions, like a plain wall. You don't want to see everything in the background. Place your work on a stand. If you don't have a stand, you can take an Amazon box or a table and drape it with a solid piece of fabric. While you have your work set up, You want to take multiple shots from the front, back, and sides. In this picture, because you have it already set up, you will take different shots. You will only submit one shot in the Google form, but then having those other shots, if we need, when we go to do the show and display the work, I can send you a webmail and you can just send those directly to me. Again, save those in a file folder set aside for your art portfolio. Congratulations, you've taken amazing photos of your artwork. Now what do? You're going to edit them. Once you have these photos, use a photo editing program and make sure they are straight and cropped just to show your artwork. We don't need to see all the edges around it or anything in the background. One thing, a lot of photo editing, when you put it in, you can put up the grid and see that it lines up evenly. And that's a good thing to do. If you can generally eyeball that and see that it's not at an angle. You don't want to have that skewed view of your artwork. You want it to be as even as possible. Here's some editing tools. I'll just read through this and I'll have this up for you to look through more. There are things like tuning the image, using the white balance, brightness, contrast, saturation, ambience, shadows, highlights, warmth, temperature, tint. All those things, if you have taken a photo and maybe you have too much light or the lighting was a little bit yellow or so you feel like it just needed to be tuned up, you can enhance those things. You don't want to completely alter your work, but you definitely can take it into a photo editing program and clean that up, and also cropping it so that it's nice and neat. So here's some artwork that is unevenly lit. There are shadows, or you can see there are dark areas on some, and then also the cropping really is bad. So make sure that you really concentrate on taking a good photo of your work. If it's too light or too dark, you may need to shoot it again. It may be that it was too bright of a day or it was too overcast of a day. You may have to shoot that photo again, or you can see if you can enhance it in editing. Sometimes when you enhance a dark photo, though, you can lose the quality, and if a photo is too light, you may be losing some values in that too. Does your artwork need to be adjusted? Did the colors balance not work out? Can you tell that the colors are wrong? Make sure that it looks the way that you want it to look. Make sure that your artwork is in focus. When it's out of focus, nobody can judge that piece. So you need to make sure that every bit of it is in focus. Setting your camera sometimes to that 3-second timer so that you can hold it and get steady. Using a tripod is a good thing to do. If you don't have a tripod, there's many ways. Brace yourself, put your arms on something solid and hold it until you can make sure that you get a good image. If you're having good lighting, most of the time you're not going to have an issue with the focus. Making sure your artwork is framed properly. We don't want to see pictures that are showing the work surface that you took the picture on or at some odd angle. It needs to be directly on it, showing it in a perfect rectangle, square, or the shape that it is, okay? Not any kind of skewed angle. What not to do. We love seeing you with your artwork. It so makes me happy to see a child holding up their work. But you want to make sure that you are sorry, that you are not in your artwork. I mean, not in your piece with your artwork, your photograph. Check the background. Make sure that you have a nice plain background, and this picture is also not lined up very well. I'm going to have every notification go off now. And then look in your background. There's no distractions. If you have to put a piece of poster board up, photograph so you can also see the flash has gone off on this. There's a big hot spot on it. So making sure that you are having that good lighting and a good angle and a clear background without distractions. Again, when you're photographing, getting it as straight as possible. If not, you can take it into the photo editing and rotate it until it's straight. Sometimes you can tell when you rotate it if it's not straight. I mean, if you've taken it at a bad angle, it won't straighten out. So then you may have to retake it. If you have glass over a piece that you've already framed, or maybe you just display it with glass, don't take a photo with the glass because you'll get a reflection. Expectations. This is a nice clear shot. It is cropped down. We can see exactly what the artwork is without any distractions with background or lighting or anything. It's very clear. Same here. Also here. This one has a little bit of a hot spot. It looks like maybe with the lighting, it could just be part of the artwork. And then this is a 3D piece with a very clear background. You could set a background up with poster board. I don't want to see the seams in the poster board though. Just make sure you kind of curve it or something so that you can get that nice clear background. A plain wall will work though. If you have multiple pieces, make sure you either lay it out the way you want it shot or you combine all those pieces together, like a diptych or a triptych. And that's all that we have. So I can't wait to see your work. Very excited about this. And I'm going to tell you the judges are excited to see everything that y'all do. I know that this is going to be a great thing for everyone involved. So if you have any questions, please just reach out to me through email or give me a call or text me. I am more than happy to help if you're curious about your picture and you're not sure if you want someone to look at it and see if you need some feedback on it. Please send it on and I will help you. Thank you so much. Bye.